Hello, good evening, and welcome back to another Werewolf session. Another Werewolf Wednesday, another part of our Shadows over Kempten chronicle. After successfully taking down a black spiral dancer and returning with its head to the sept, our pack's renown and accomplishments is acknowledged. They are held in high standard for all of their deeds so far, and the sept prepares to launch an attack on the black spiral dancers, a suspected hive of them, a pit where they fester and spread the corruption of the worm. You went in a session just having a quiet night out, talking to people, doing your own things and all of that before tucking in for the night. And soon, morning comes again. You know that the Moot will be held tonight at nightfall. And there's a whole day ahead to prepare for it and familiarize yourself with the proceedings, let's put it that way. The comings and goings of a Moot. Alexander and Klaus wake up in a cave in the woods with Klaus's kinfolk family. Torsten has opted to sleep at the sept, sharing a room with Hugin, the Shadow Lord from the Mist Seekers, Julian's pack. And in fact, by the time you two wake up, he does make an offhanded comment on being surprised having a good night of sleep. A easeful night of sleep. And offhandedly jokes about good company helping.
Nice. Just out of character, nice.
Nice. Like,
hell
turns to the
yeah.
side. Yes.
So, why don't we start in the woods? You two can have a short scene before you return to the sept if you like, but otherwise, mostly, what do you do after you wake up? What is your intentions for the day before the actual mood happens? Are you going to occupy your day before the big celebration?
First priority is moving kinfolk closer to the Bourne.
Alright.
And then probably patrolling, like early in the morning before anyone wakes up, and then like to make sure the path is clear, and then going back and then moving them to the Bourne.
Gotcha. Is Alex up to anything?
I think Alex is mostly just like hanging out with the pack and or with the Kinwolf pack, and yeah, just trying to help out as best he can, corralling little ones.
Alright. You, I would say Klaus can roll. Survival for sure. Survival and dexterity, I'll say. Take them through the safest, quickest, best path. And you can add a bonus die from having... Unless Alex has supporter, doesn't he?
I do.
So... That means you get... +1 because of your of the supporter.
Hooray.
Hooray!
Oh,
Yeah, 4 successes.
you have to reveal.
Ah, fuck. I did a self roll. Never mind,
How
I'll do
could
that
you?
again. Yeah.
It's okay, just roll 4 again.
3 successes! Yeah!
Yeah, that's good. That's good enough. Managed to safely guide your kinfolk to the safety of the sept.
Do I see anything on the way, any signs of people or danger?
Define danger.
Oh, I guess... Well, to be honest, mostly like signs of... I'm mostly looking for signs of people.
No,
Or
you're too deep in the
traps.
forest.
Okay, cool. And then secondarily it would be, yeah, probably any other Garu that I don't recognize or things like that.
Yeah, you managed to bring them to the sept without issue, and nothing of note in the woods for now.
Cool.
Alright, so how does Torsten start his day?
Probably aggressively confused as most days.
Fell.
No, he does not know where he is. Maybe some pleasant conversation with Hugin, which apparently with Hugin means also talking about death and shit, and the horrible things we have to do in the future, and our part in the great fate of the world. And then just basically like straight dash to town. No one else is here right now. The others are moving people and are in the woods. He made it very clear that they are gone. And he needs someone right now. And he also wants to ask questions about the mood tonight, so he's just gonna go to town, go back to the pub, go to a place that he knows, and to a person that he knows and trusts, which is Moritz, and just
Absolutely.
have
Very fair.
breakfast, recoup.
So, what is your breakfast? What does Torsten eat for breakfast? I'm curious. I'm just curious, really. It's of no consequence.
I hoped so. I don't know how you would build consequence into that, but I'd be impressed.
I mean, if it was something like human flesh, but
No.
That would be wild.
It would be funny, huh, if Thorsten was so shocked about Klaus's reveal just because it's like, oh no.
oh, you too?
Us? Yay, together!
Twinning.
The army, going hunting. I imagine Thorsten to have wolf-like qualities in some ways. He is not used to having a constant stream of income in the human world, which means he is also used to not eating sometimes. And anytime he has food that is offered to him, and that is enough, he will gorge himself on that food. So it is
Oh, yeah.
answer 1 is a lot. Answer 2 is probably whatever the fuck Moritz puts in front of him. And I imagine with that specific pub in the clientele, there will be a lot of like, what do the Brits do? Breakfast sausage? Maybe it's just actual like ham, just because we're in the area for that.
Yeah, I'd imagine ham.
It is. Oh, it's German breakfast.
Some
it's ham,
some
egg, and
venison,
bread.
maybe.
Yeah,
There are definitely
ham, egg,
deer
and
in
bread.
these foods.
yeah.
Actually, never
What-
had venison in my life. It's not very common around here, or at least my region, as far as I know.
I've had elk.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have that here, so I find that unlikely to happen in my future.
Yeah,
I've had
that's
deer most of the
understandable.
times. I'm from like rural Germany, so that just you have hunter friends, but sometimes it's just like, oh hey, I
Mm-hmm.
killed a deer. Do you want some of it because it's a lot of meat?
There's a lot of meat.
I mean, full respect. Hunt your own food, and in some areas it's necessary as well
Yeah.
for population stuff.
Basically, had a whole deer for my like confirmation.
Yeah, no, I never saw it here. Maybe in the capital, the capital for my state, I could find a restaurant that serves it. Besides the point, you sit
Oh, yeah.
down. A massive plate of food, there's a lot, there's meat, there's eggs, and whatever else the hell you've asked them to try and shove in this.
Mhm.
And you shove it right down your throat.
Yeah.
Moritz, of course, in his all raggedy old man glory, sits beside you with his own plate of breakfast. Ah, be damned, son. Oh, Black Spiral, you guys are moving fast.
I assume so. Seems like it. I mean, apparently it's gonna be just on everyone's plate now anyway.
Yeah, well, it's better that way. Found a pit, dug it out.
That's fair enough. I just hope we catch the mess off guard as we caught this one, because from the stories you've been telling, I don't think I wanna deal with one that's planned to kill me.
It's not a pretty sight, fighting them. They are thoroughly corrupt. Many of them have become deformed, warped by the emanations of the worm. Postures blowing out their skin, eyes of balefire, crooked teeth and claws, markings and scabs in their bodies. Everything that shows off the worm's entropy.
I'll be honest, I find it prettier fighting them than just some random animals.
Well, the animals are easier for sure. They aren't dumb, they're insane, but they're not stupid. They're as smart as we get. They're just completely fucked up. They strategize, they are as much warriors as we are. And their pits are the true ugly sight. The things they feed the worm, the pollution, the sacrifices, the stench of decay. The profanity of it all.
Well, it will still be easier fighting something I actually don't like.
That sure is, kid. That sure is.
But apparently we're gonna have some... Are you gonna be, like, at the Moot tonight?
Of course! Everyone's
What do you mean,
gotta
of
be
course?
there.
I have seen you, like, twice outside of this bar room.
I mean, it's my job to, oversee the city. I don't get down to the sept a lot. Well, I'll always leave the bar. I just make myself available.
I know.
Oh yeah, no, everyone's expected to attend. Although we here probably not gonna be seeing a lot of action. In fact, if we're going head to head with the Black Spirals, we need to be extra here, making sure that none of that starts spilling through the veil. Let's put it that way.
Is that a thing that happens?
Sometimes fights, wars get a bit too big, too messy, spills over.
I mean, best case, we just keep it to the woods.
That's our hope. It's easier fighting in Black Forest. Well, I'm sure it will all be fine. We got some mighty fine fighters over there in the Sept. And Europec's not doing too shabby, so... Be rough. We're gonna kick their asses.
We are. Just, you know.
We all have nerves. It's good to worry. Keeps you sharp. Any doubts you may be having? No, this is going to be your first moot.
I'm just not too sure what's actually going to happen. You know, that's a thing I think you have to experience. I just don't want to make like an ass out of myself.
You're right on. Suppose you really just have to experience it, but you were young, and this is your first one. Now we are a bit too stuck up most of the time for plays of renown and social structures and all that, but they're minimally lenient. I understand you might be still getting used to it all.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get fully used to this. I don't know how much more is waiting around the corner.
Oh, a lot more, kid. The surprises never stop coming, but you know,
Oh, fuck that.
you kinda get used to it. Becomes kinda fun. Well, fun when we win. Anyway, lots of W's in the fucking sentence.
Yeah. It's... I don't know. It all just went from like, you know, I didn't have a plan for my life to I still don't have a plan for my life, but now it's... The consequences are much more dire.
But the paths are too. Doesn't get much surer about life than this, kiddo. For once, the worldly problems are tangible, have a physical shape, and we can tear it the fuck apart. Or make it worse. Give or take. But we can do something about shit. Might feel unfair at first. Why me? Why am I forced to do this? Why don't I have an option? Why don't I have a say in it? But for a lot of folk, most guru really, they felt different their whole lives. They felt angry about things their whole lives. And even if it feels unfair and outlandish at first, it gives them a place and a purpose. Think your friend Julia went through something pretty much like that. Suddenly, they fit in their own world. And they can do something about things.
Just had to trust that, you know. It all seems so weirdly rigid, like distinct. Every like clan or pack or whatever having such aggressively different views on the world. But it's just this one evil to fight that we fight together. Feels weird.
Well, it does get a bit more complicated. And it isn't the only one, either.
Yep. The one free evils or whatever. It's like...
Still, all cultures have existed for millennia, since the dawn of humanity, and all mammals. The tribes of Gaia have existed during the beginnings of the primitive era of the humans, around the time they were still living in caves and evolving into what they are today. It's around that time that the 13 tribes formed. I know how the other shapeshifters structure their groups. Hard to get those stories. Not a lot of them to tell them. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
We are living history. Sometimes, much by hubris, we fail to adapt and modernize, but always comes waves of Guru just like you. They're unsatisfied with the tradition of things, and they start questioning it, and they start acting different in their own accord within their own packs, and then you have a whole generation that just wants things to be different. It might seem like this monolith of a structure for your point of view, because you're finding out about this now, when it's at the state it is, and that's your frame of reference, and that is fair. But the Garou Nation that you are seeing before you now, I would say, is already considerably different than the one that I saw when I first changed, and I changed much younger than you. Got some years in me. It's subtle. But we change as much as the human generations do. It's gonna feel rigid for a while. That doesn't mean it's rock solid.
There really is no way that I just can not show up tonight, right?
Well, you could skip it, but it would definitely be frowned upon. People might not be too happy, might lose you some standing with the Sept. But I don't think that's the reason why you shouldn't skip social punishment. Not like you're in too bad of a spot anyway, with your pack just accomplishing what you did. And depending on how this little assault goes, you should go. Because it might make you feel just a little bit more at home for once. Because it might allow you to connect to your fellows in ways you haven't had the chance to so far. In ways you wouldn't expect. Because maybe when we are howling and dancing together around that fire and putting all of our spirits and rage and passion out to the fire, to the boar, to Gaia and Luna, maybe just then you find that collective spark. You're gonna be staying here a while if you're gonna fight side to side, potentially to death. Might as well feel like home, eh?
I guess so. I will go, and I will try. Just feels.
I'm sure you enjoy yourself.
I probably will. From what I've heard, there's a lot to drink and smoke and eat there.
Oh yeah, the Gat are one of the few tribes that get into their more indulgent reveries. Because it's better than everyone brawling each other out right before a very dangerous assault on one of our worst enemies, so for this time, better the food and alcohol and dancing than bloodied soldiers before a fight. I suppose they'll treat the hunt against the Black Spirals as the revelry. That's the end of most moods. It's been more sparingly used now the cities are getting so big, but it's usually what happens at the end. Everyone just change forms and let themselves out, fall into brawls, hunt things down in the bone, and just letting our wild spirits out. Some do get carried away, though. Especially the ghetto offenders. So I suppose they'll save it for the Black Spirals this time. I can't take chances. You're gonna hear a lot of stories tomorrow night. It's a big part of the mood. You should take your time to know people, to get their stories, their history with the set. That might give you perspective. To make sense of what it means, or what it should mean to you.
Okay, I'll do that. He
Okay. Mm-hmm.
just smiles and would get up and, do the edgy teen young adult thing and leave this conversation with a parental figure to go upstairs into his room and play guitar to himself.
Absolutely fair. He smiles. He taps you on the back. He lets out a laugh, a hearty laugh, as you walk away. So, still have a whole day ahead of you, all of you, all three of you. So what else will you do with that time before the moot?
I have something that I'm curious about, but I will leave the floor open if anybody has anything they're really compelled to discuss.
You can go with your one for now. Give people time to think. So already have something.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Well, I think that spending the evening with Klaus's kinwolves has kind of maybe alighted a little bit of a curiosity in Alex's brain of like, it is weird that I'm the only new Garol right now.
Yeah.
Where are all the other bears here? And if there aren't any, where are the closest one? And so I think that I don't know who necessarily would come to mind first for him about who to investigate that with. Either the trail runners, trailblazers? I can't remember. Trailblazers, or Helena, but he'd probably want to ask either of them about that.
Helena definitely knows the answer. You are closest to the Trailblazers right now since you're in the Sept. So it's up to you, really. I mean, you could always do both and get both answers.
Let's do. We haven't talked to the Trailblazers that much, so let's do that.
Fair, absolutely.
Get some more characterization from them.
They are around the Sept right now, thankfully for you. Why can't I click the right folders? There. You do see the four of them on one corner of the Sept discussing something. Making plans, perhaps. You're not really sure. But you approach. Two of them are in Lupus, while another one is in Krynos, that is Shapes the Spirit, the one who was working at the blacksmith, and was very timid and everyone fawned over. After
I remember
thirsting massively
I forgot
for
that they
the
were
blacksmith.
in the Trailblazers. I love them.
I do remember him.
Yeah, he's all white. He has horns.
Oh, sweet little.
And
man.
only one of them, 4 of them total, only one of them, a girl with sharp black hair and wearing a jacket. She's the only inhamid.
Mhm.
So that gives you ideas. But they see you approaching, I'll nod to you in acknowledgement, politely. One of them takes a step forward. He has a little cloth band around one of his arms. He's the one in lupus. Well, good morning to you, happiest bear.
Do I know their names?
You have talked to this one before, alongside the other one who's the Master of Howl. This is Unearth's Gaia's memory. There's Zadak. And you've also talked with Sings the Wild Alive. I think this is the first time you are seeing Maria.
Okay. Sweet. He returns the greeting with a little bear bow, the way that he's seen a lot of the wolves show to each other.
I love that.
Good morning. I was just wondering, I haven't seen too many bears in the woods around here. Is there like a certain area that they stick to, or?
They all have a look of surprise in their faces for a moment, kind of look at each other, and honors Gaia's memory. Oh, I thought your mentor would have explained it to you. There are no bears in this region of Europe anymore. There's none in this part of the country, or any part of the country, or the surrounding ones. Maria, could you... She nods. Know a little bit more about it, and I know, to simplify a few things, had to explain this a lot of times to this guy, so, the land we are right now had a lot of bears. That was maybe 1,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
2 things happened. The War of Rage, where all the Guru hunted down the Guru, and a lot of the werebears were killed. A lot of, well, the rest of them, pretty much all of them, vanished into the Umbra.
Mm-hmm.
And only started coming back a few centuries ago. Rarely any few remain on this side, just hiding somewhere. And the bears, well, I think that's mainly humans, though I wouldn't doubt if the Guru had some part in it. They were just hunted out. Humans hunt them to extinction in this area. There is no bear left in Germany, or most of Eurasia. Though, there are plans worldwide to, and in the region too, there's always talks of trying to reintroduce them, to bring them back. So, who knows, maybe another decade or 2 of good work, especially by us, our kinfolk connections and all that. Maybe we can bring them back. I mean, you're here. It's gotta count for something.
Right. So he kind of has this like halfway somber, halfway hard think look going on as he's wrapping his brain around that concept. So where are the closest bears then?
Might find someone up in Siberia, which is not gonna mean a lot to you.
No.
They're far. They're far away, but there's few of them. I mean, wild bears. I don't know if there's any Guru. And, well, most Guru assume that the Guru are completely gone from Eurasia, so I don't know. Maybe in the Beast Courts. To the east. There are a lot more of you now on the other side of the ocean, though, west. I hear the Americas are full of them. Well, at least compared to everywhere else.
That was just 2 words that Alex has never encountered before. Well, he's encountered the word America before, but he hasn't. He still doesn't know what that is.
He hasn't experienced America. God fucking bless.
Yeah, he's living blissfully.
No one explains it to you. Don't you dare do this to my boy.
Well, he's gonna add. You know what he's gonna say? He's like, "This is like I think the 3rd time that I've heard of Americas. What is Americas?"
Oh dear. Honors takes a step forward and says, "It's like when you have 2 forests that are divided by a big lake.
Okay.
It's like they're completely different places, and you have to cross the lake to get to the other forest. It's impossible to get to it otherwise."
You couldn't go around the lake?
No, it stretches forever. You are trapped in an island of a single forest,
Uh-huh.
and you have to cross the waters to reach the other forest. It's a long lake.
But you can see the other forest, right? And you can
Well, actually
communicate
no.
with the other forest?
Well, we can. Humans, I guess, now their tech lets them do that. But you could visit it. Cairns such as our own are powerful enough to hold moon bridges. I'm not sure if at the moment we have any moon bridges with any of the American septs. But we could check. We could always request to open one. If we find another powerful enough Cairn, we should be able to do that. You cross that massive lake through the light of Luna in the Umbra. All of that massive lake, all of that space, all of that water, it's like it stretches and narrows down. And it's like just skipping over a puddle instead.
And we could bring the bears from this Americas to here?
Well, it's possible. I mean, they would have need to want to, I suppose, and other Garusets would have to be accepting of that too. We don't want new conflicts. Some,
Sure, yeah.
especially older Garu, are still held up in some of their grudges.
Yeah,
But it
I've
could
noticed that
happen.
some of your communication is strained sometimes.
I assume they sometimes pass through here, though I don't think any ever stayed.
Some what passed through here?
The werebears, you, the guru.
Right. I mean, I guess that would be how I got here, right?
Maria behind him shrugs, thinks for a moment. Well, you were a captive bear. You had to be trafficked for somewhere. Probably Russia.
Oh. What's a Russia?
We're not doing this. And yeah, you're brought from somewhere. From another forest, most likely. Very cool thing, really. What they do most. Wild animals aren't as lucky as you are.
You say wild animals like there are not wild animals.
Humans
Like
have-
like I was taken hostage, but like surely there are everything else is wild, right?
Yes, exactly. That's my point. You probably managed to escape precisely because you're not a wild animal. your guru. Half flesh, half spirit. Half animal,
Right, but I mean, like,
half man.
but you say wild animals like there are not wild bears.
Not in this
There
area.
or that there are bears that are not wild.
Captive bears usually are in their very core, they will always be wild, but captivity changes much of their behavior, and a lot of them, if they spend too long captive, they're unable to return to the wilds, or they would not survive. They are no longer capable of it due to captivity without access to nature. Some of them exist only at sanctuaries. They're wild animals in the sense that the human tongue considers anything not urbanized and tamed and captive to be wild. But I suppose the better way to put it is these animals are meant to be natural, not caged. And caged ones don't get to break out often. And they rarely are able to and go back to being natural.
Do we know where any of these cages are that we could set them free?
Sometimes. Sometimes we find them. That's sometimes my job, actually. I have a few contacts to help with that. Sometimes we are always tracking down poachers and things like that. Illegal hunters, all those sorts of things. To stop them from killing animals needlessly. Hunters hunt in this forest because humans have taken away the wolves, the wolf population. And many of the prey that the wolves would hunt down, because they are no longer here, they just spread. They breed excessively, and they start throwing nature out of balance.
I was going to say, it sounds like that would devour most of the vegetation here.
That has killed forests in some parts of the world. Destroyed wetlands.
Wow.
So. There's that.
I think that the hard think is getting harder and harder.
So there are humans
Like
that respect nature as much as we do, and we teach them that. But there are humans who don't, who have been perverse by either the worm or the weaver, and they seek greed to make something out of it. Compensation. They use animals as currency. As their trade. To scroll and needless. There are other shifters here too, besides the werebears. She looks over to Honors. Oh yes, the werelings.
I hadn't heard
I
of
think
those before.
well they are Bastei. What was it again? He looks to the other two, shapes the spirit things for a second and says, the Kwami. Yes. They call themselves the Kwami. They were here alongside the Goro, the Garu, and the Korax. They were cats. Big cats. Well, bigger than the ones you've probably seen so far.
Like mountain lions.
Where the fuck would Alexander have seen a mountain lion?
This is North America, Van, not knowing how European fauna works.
Yeah, mountain lions aren't. They're not.
They're definitely not here.
They're a North American thing only?
They're an America's thing. Oh.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're an
I
American.
think
Yes.
there might be Pullman other places, but might also be expedited. Anyway, it's very much America's thing. We have them in Brazil as well, but definitely not in this part of Germany.
Wait, then what's the big cat in Germany? Or what was
lynx.
the big cat in Germany? Oh,
Yeah.
that was the biggest cat?
Yeah?
Yes, yeah. We don't have a lot of big
Yep. Lots
You
of places don't have big
heard this.
cats.
You just heard the story. If something too big that was dangerous came here, we killed it. Like
That's
normal
true.
people would. We did a great job exterminating a bunch of cool animals.
Can you
I don't wanna talk about it.
imagine if Australia had that mindset as they were settling on the
Oh my
lands?
god.
Like 90% of the things there wouldn't exist if they had that mentality.
Very true.
I mean, basically all the megafauna have been hunted to extinction.
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
Out of
But I
Australia,
mean,
yeah.
megafauna in general, just, you know.
Huh.
Still, they're big cats. They're shifters like us, and they were more mystical.
Mm.
So, but yeah, another consequence of both the war of rage on the Guru side, and humans also did the same thing with the lynxes that they did with the bears. Hunted them down. Sometimes for the pet trade, sometimes for the for fur, maybe meat. I don't know. The cats taste good. Well, not another shifter, but everyone shrugs. But yeah, mistakes happen, and in history, all we can do is do our best to move forward and make better choices. Maybe compensate for those bad ones, if at all possible. Say we are trying to do that now by embracing you and your mentor here in the Sept. If any Sept would advocate for bringing other Killy back, other Gaians, it would be this one. Elder Ragna is... that's just how she is. And I think everyone here learned from that mentality too. Even if some don't really show much for it. This was a very pointed jab. And you can imagine to whom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that the hard think is starting to move on from Alex's mind as he's like, well, this was much sadder of a conversation than I was expecting it to be. And
Well, if there's anything to take away from it, it's hope, right? There are efforts being made to recover it all, and you're here. Why can't there be
Yeah.
more?
I agree. Well, my intention with coming here was to more see how I could help propagate that, but it sounds more like it's about rescuing what's left. So,
Well, that is
I
well,
suppose
but
if you...
we do nurture places to grow them. Sometimes we even plant new. We do rebuild from time to time. It's about finding our way. What makes sense to you?
Well, if you do ever find any of these cages that you were talking about, I
Well-
request humbly that you let me know, and if I can help at all, I will.
Oh, I'll let you know, Maria says. Although there is a different kind of cage. One may not trap but to protect. Like I said, some of those taken from the wild get a bit luckier than others. Unlucky in the fact that they suffered it through it and that they can't return to the wild. But they aren't just abandoned or killed when they're rescued. And they are rescued. A lot of times. And humans go the extra mile to build these... you could call them gardens or maybe even septs. Just for those animals. They can't go back to the wild, they're still trapped in a sense, but they're given the best chance they got. Well, the work is done well, at least. But there's an effort. People are starting to care. Maybe I'll take you to one of those one day. You could see the bears there. They let people visit and learn about the animals, so they know better. And I'll hurt them.
I think I'd like that.
Yeah, I'll keep you updated. I think there's a zoo not too far from here. It has some bears in it.
What?
Those garden cages.
Oh, okay.
They're sanctuaries too. Like I said, they're like
Okay.
the septs. I could get us something.
All right. I like the sound of that. Thank you for enlightening me about this. It was beginning to weigh on my mind that I hadn't seen any for the month or so that I've been here, so...
It's understandable. It's how we feel all the time. There's no wolves anywhere. I mean, matter of speech. There are places that still have them. There are places humans are making an effort to try and bring them back to, but until very recently, until your packmate, there are wolves in Black Forest. So we got a pack of kinfolk and Garou to come out to it. Though there are plans to introduce more wolves to Black Forest. So maybe they'll change, and if we can do that with wolves, I don't see why we couldn't do it with bears.
I'm glad to hear it. And Klaus is a very formidable and competent parent, for sure.
Oh, I imagine.
I'm sure that
You know,
its
maybe
kin will be just as much.
if Gaia allows it. Hopefully in the future I'll have a lot of wolves. Maybe we'll be nurturing wolves at the Sept, and maybe we'll even have a den again, and a den mother to take care of cubs that grow around the Sept. Wolf, human, or even Carnosborn. I mean, if that happened and meant the Cairn grew, that the Sept grew,
Yeah.
that's something we can wish towards.
Certainly. I'm honestly surprised that we don't have such yet with the number of Garou I've seen around in the cairn.
They
But
all
I suppose
lower their
the
heads.
ward.
Yeah, they lowered their heads.
The war takes precedence, I'm sure.
Shapes the spirit, hums to himself, frowns. There's that. A lot of the members of the pack, the sect, have died in conflict, mainly with the Black Spire Dancers, but there's been other worm oddities. But there's something else, and why there's such a big deal around your change is that, it's nothing concrete, it's a rumor that mostly theurgists talk about. We feel the change in the air. Some say it feels like we are skipping a generation of Garou, that new Garou just aren't being born. Kinfolk, yes, but none that breed true, that go through the first change. There's less and less of us being born around, not just here. We don't know what that means. Some say it's the end, some say it's just skipping a generation or two, which will put a dent in our numbers. Some say something much worse, maybe we're cursed. But it's speculation. Just have to wait and see and prepare for the worst.
I suppose so.
But
But-
like we said, if you were born, and there's also Julian, the change, all of your pack recently, can't be that bad, I hope.
certainly not. Are these? I realize I hadn't asked before. Are these? Is this pack clearly like a bit older than Julian's pack?
A bit, yeah.
Like a generation older? Okay, that makes
No,
sense.
not necessarily a generation older. Like, let's say Julian in his 19s, you would put Maria at like 23, maybe 25 at most. But they seem like they are like, they've been around for much longer than Julian's pack. They're not just newbies.
Okay, gotcha. They're established.
Which also, like, would make sense given the... Technically, if you think about their pack duty, it's pretty high profile since they have to basically play park rangers for the entirety of Black Forest, maintain the hiking trails that keep the humans away from places they shouldn't be, and also punish any humans doing things they shouldn't in the forest while also maintaining the veil. So, like, it's a massive area for a single pack to be handling.
Right.
So yeah, they definitely have rank.
Do I know? Does Alex know their rank?
You would feel that they're all rank 2.
Okay. So, Fostern?
Fostern.
I think that's right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Wait, is Julian a Cleath?
Yeah?
Okay. Sorry, that just...
His
gave
pack
me
is
some more
only like
perspective
a
as well.
year older than your own. Don't be mean to my baby.
Get his ass.
He
actually.
talks such a big game, and I'm like,
No.
oh,
Get his ass, Alex.
He literally talks himself
Get his
down.
ass.
He's traumatized.
I know he's traumatized, but he talks all the time about like I killed so many black spiral dancers. Like, dude,
No,
you're just
he
a
never
Cleath. What are you talking-
said that.
No.
He never said that. He
Didn't
said
he?
no. He literally
He said
denied.
he'd seen a pit, but he had not that he was like a war hero or anything.
He said
Oh.
he, alongside his uncle's pack, face a hive of Fumori. That's what he said.
Oh,
Because he found the hive. He was attacked by a single Fumori. He killed it. He sniffed it around and found it, the whole hive with his uncle's pack, and then they attacked it
Nice.
together. And he definitely chose for that experience.
Okay. I that makes more sense now. Wait, so okay. No. Never mind. I'll shut up now about Julian.
That's why I said
He-
we can make fun of Julian now because we're
And-
cooler than him.
And he did
That
that
is
like
true, we
while
are
he was a
cooler than him.
cub. He wasn't a Cleath yet, but like he doesn't tell the story as a hero. He says like, "I've seen the worst shit of my life." It's not like, "Oh, I killed so many of them." It's like, "I've killed so many of them. You wouldn't believe."
Yeah, no, but he keeps mentioning it.
He does keep mentioning it, so he
Yeah,
is at
yeah.
least a little bit proud of it.
No, he's traumatized. That's what I'm saying. It's because it left a mental scar. Mostly because it also got his boyfriend killed. So
No.
that is venting.
Wait,
That's not bragging.
is his new boyfriend the second boyfriend that he's had?
No.
What?
What do you mean? What does that question come from?
Who's the one that
It
we
almost
went to his house?
Almost killed.
it almost got his
Oh,
boyfriend killed.
almost. I thought you said
Almost.
killed it.
No,
At least
almost.
we killed his boyfriend.
The
I-
reason
yeah.
the reason why his boyfriend knows about this is precisely because they were attacked by a Fumori in the middle of the city, and Julian had to wolf out, and by that point it was easier to sit down and explain.
Yeah. Okay.
Otherwise, Julian would have never told him. He didn't want to. Anyway,
Okay.
that's
Anyway.
what it is.
Well, I know what Alex wants to do on his next downtime, so
Speaking of
And-
Julian,
Yeah.
Oh.
if we aren't, class is going to try find him if he's near the sept.
He would come to the Sept at some point during the day, for sure. He spent the night in town. You probably around noon, maybe. To reunite with Hugin.
Hugin.
Because all of them slept over. And Hugin stayed behind. But yeah, they're together and you can catch them.
Yeah. Klaus is gonna go up to Julian and say,
Do we want to... Wait. I'm so sorry. Do we want to call a bio break real fast before we jump into another scene?
Yeah, I think that would be for the best. I was already thinking about it.
Yeah.
I think
Sure.
before we
I don't
do
want to.
that...
I don't want to kill your flow here.
No, that's
Morak,
a good idea.
but-
Yeah, no, it might be better actually. So yeah, we are taking 10, and we will be right back to continue this.
Wicked.
We are back. Welcome. Now,
Wahoo!
let's wrap this up and use the time we still have for the moot. Any last actions during the daytime that any of you would like, or any particular interaction? I think Klaus was
gonna
about to
bully
say, yeah.
Julian?
Don't bully
"Yeah,
my
I'm gonna have a
son.
real short conversation with Julian."
Sick.
Oh, hey Klaus, what's up? Getting ready for the moot?
Could we speak alone?
Sure. He turns to his back, nods, walks away with you. So, what's up?
As I am learning my place in this world, and more of what it is like living with other people, not just my pack, I'm trying to learn how to do the right thing. This does not come naturally to me, but I apologize for snapping at you and your pack mates. You are not my cubs, and I should have remembered that.
Oh, right, that. Yeah, no, it's. I forgive you, it's fine, it's. We are Guru. We all have a temper. We literally have been given rage by Luna. This happens. Believe it or not, me and my pack, we do snap from time to time to each other. It happens, but the best we can do is to be humble, take a lesson from that, and apologize and do better. It's fine, really. I understand where you were coming from, and I'm sorry. If I growl too hard, let's say.
No, you did not. I was out of line and you put me in my place. That is how it should be.
Yeah, I like to think of that, we all help each other to hold ourselves to the mark, you know, to ground ourselves. Don't let the rage
I have
go
a question.
untamed. Yes?
I've been told that there is a good chance that the one that you were complaining about, I forget his name. The one that barks about his own hunt.
Yeah,
All
that's
the
Gilliam.
time.
That's
Yep, yep.
Gilliam. Blood Snow.
Yes, that one. I've been told that he is likely to challenge one of us.
Could happen. There's a lot of fighting going to be involved. Well, play fighting. But some people get a bit serious.
Yes. We have come into possession of a fang dagger. And personally,
Not sure what that is, but I'm sure Hugin would be ecstatic.
it is a weapon.
Yep, fetish weapon.
Yes. Personally, I am a little unsure of using such tools and weapons and daggers or whatever, but I would value your insight into who he is likely to challenge.
You can't
of us.
use the Fang Dagger in a challenge. We can't kill each other. Challenges resolved by fights and duels, or even during moots when people just challenge each other to full brawls and all, are typical challenges. It is understood that neither participant is to take things way too far. We can kill each other, we can incapacitate each other, especially not before raid on the Black Spyros. But you should be considering which one of you is going to be using that against the Spyros, because that's fetish weapons are very useful.
Ah, what a shame. Well, what is his weakness? Apart from being arrogant.
I would say that's his biggest weakness. Otherwise, he's flesh like we are. If that's a particular one, I don't know. I don't think anything stands out. Hit him hard enough, he falls like everything else.
Very well.
I mean, he could have won, but I don't know.
Thank you.
I'd say just play smart if you want to throw claws with him. Just be smart and quick. He's stubborn and he is arrogant. The one time I won against him, that's what I used in my favor.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Actually, no, it was Karina who won once. Julia never beat him. Well, regardless.
Very well.
Is there anything else?
No, thank you.
So you're up.
Goodbye.
So, you all tell me, what next?
I'm
If
good.
there's anything else.
I think I'm
I'm
good.
ready to rock.
Yeah.
So next up, night falls at last. Sky. As soon as the skies begin to darken, the twilight takes over. You start hearing howls. The members of the Sept start all howling. A song of invitation, a chorus, calling you all to the very center of the Sept. The whole day has been marked with preparations. The Keeper's assistant to the Keeper of the Land, preparing the place. Theurgus preparing the standing stone that holds both the cairn and the patron of the Sept. A massive pyre is lit right before it, and the people of the Sept begin to gather around the fire, to get around the standing stone. And
Music change.
Ooh. Sorry. My music changed at the exact same time, and it's the Talking Heads. This must be the place.
well,
It's
That's
just
good.
so not. But yeah, it's just so not the vibe.
No, but it's a good song.
It is.
the whole cairn, the whole sept reunites at its very heart. People surround the pyre, they're in all different shapes. Moritz and Eyes Across the Web have joined from town. All of the packs are here. You see that the Warder and what you assume is Killian's pack, they are present, but they do seem like they're all posing this sort of guard duty. Prowling the surroundings, keeping an eye out, eyes and ears out. Some have weapons at the ready, as if they're security. They keep watch while the celebrations start. You can already smell in the distance, especially for those in their animal shapes. There's food. Food has been cooked throughout the whole day. The smell almost dominates the sept, especially the cooked and steamed meats. It's definitely faint as booze, but immediately the senses are overwhelmed by the smell of spices and herbs thrown to the pyre as offerings. With the ending of the summons and all of the Garou of the Sept of Bloodfist reunite, everyone stands in a circle. The elders stand seated right before the standing stone in higher seats, the Council of Elders. And one younger Garou from the Trailblazers takes a step forward. He stands at the center, between the flames and the standing stone. He looks at all and lets out a deep rumbling howl into the sky that echoes throughout, officially beginning the moot. As the master of the howl, he welcomes, through his howling, all of you to join. Fair.
Oh, my Rexman didn't want to pick it up. Oh!
Eventually people join up and it dies out. And he steps aside while the Master of Rites, the Black Fury, who is a Krynosborn, she steps forward before the cairn itself. And she begins her rites to summon and call to the cairn spirit, Bor, your patron, your sept's patron. She howls, she offers food. She dances around it until she stands, slams down her staff on the ground and looks around. For the right of Inner Sky, we honor Bor's strength to call to him. Which of you dares to stand forward and join me in ritual duel to show Bor the height of our strength? She is looking around. Some are more eager than others to join. Pretty much all the ghetto members are all kind of itching to step forward. You guys can't pass down a fucking fight. But do any of you dare to make that step? Or do you just watch whatever unfolds?
Sorry, could you repeat yourself?
Do any of you step forward?
I mean, I just zoned out for like 2 words and I missed the context.
Do you want to fight the person?
Do you want to fight the Master of Rites?
Oh god.
To summon Bor.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
No,
That
that's
sounds like
that's not our thing. That's not our thing.
That sounds like if it's any of us, it's a peppy thing. You know?
Yeah, that would be a peppy thing.
I could
well-
probably take her, but I don't wanna.
Sure.
Gonna fight, right?
Sure.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, right. Yeah.
To both of those statements, sure.
Yeah. Oh.
Listen, this woman is a hard ass. And a menace. Has a lot of rage. Well, naturally, you aren't surprised when Karina steps forward.
Yeah.
Already in Glabro, she smiles and extends a hand towards her. Fury to fury. Why not? If Matron would have me, it'd be my honor. Master almost looks impressed. And you think the only reason why Killian hasn't stepped forward is because he is in guard duty? Alongside his pack. They seem to be the Guardians working for the Warder. So this is their job. Karina shifts to Krynos. They prepare. And Karina charges at her. She's fast. You can give her that. She jumps down, she claws and tries to bite at her. Master is very precise in her footwork. Has Karina circle around her and trip her up before she slashes down and overpowers her. Karina does keep up the fight, she tries to pull back, but heads her, brings herself back to her feet. Their lock arms, clawing at each other and snarling. But, no matter how times she tries to force her way through it, Karina gets overpowered over and over again until she is knocked down and immobilized on the floor, and the Right Master is let out a deep, gravely howl of victory. Of course, they both stop before there's too many wounds after all. To keep those at minimum for this particular one. And the flames burst up, and you see them gather around the standing stone, and you see the ghostly form of Boar made out of flames standing, appearing floating up before the standing stone. Squeals and acknowledges the fight. They both stand up before it and bow, and everyone joins in. And each of them return to their places. Karina licking her wounds. And thus, the Grand Elder stands, smiles, looks at each and every single one of you. Welcome, all of you, my children. For another lunar month, we reunite, and we give our honors to our patron, and we stand as family once again. You know, the coming times are harsh. We are before a massive task. So we join ourselves tonight in spirit and flesh to elevate ourselves and prepare in honor of Gaia and Luna and our sacred duty. Tonight we revel, for tomorrow we hunt our prey. Now, this is the moment where we all crack the bone. If there are grievances, challenges, or any loose ends to tie, this is the moment you voice your concerns. If you have doubts about what's to come in this fight, this is the time to voice them. Once we are all done clearing the air for any needed business, we will discuss how this plan will go down. And after that, we enjoy ourselves. People howl and scream. Some clap. Now then, if there are any challenges, formal challenges to be made, over grievances and disputes, if any of you have a bone to pick, this is the time. Surprisingly, Julian takes a step forward, raising a hand. It's more of a concern than a grievance. Just, we are doing this without the Wormful and Keeper of the Land. I'm just wondering about Uncle's back. She nods. Your uncle strikes with courage. Alongside his back are doing their job at gathering all the information they need, offering any assistance to our neighboring sept, and they should report by the morning with their findings. Fear not, Vicious Hunter and his pack have dealt with much worse before. It breaks some formality, yes, but you all can rest assured all celebrations move on unaffected. And you see Julian goes back to his pack and they're discussing something very seriously. People whisper among themselves. Any grievances? Yes?
What? Auspice is the Grand Elder?
She is a Theurge.
Theurge, okay. That was all I was curious about. Thank you.
If there are any things you want to talk about, dearies, that is the time. Some people voice some concerns. Someone, the kinfolk more involved in sept activities, especially to compensate for the low numbers. Maria reports on behalf of the Trailblazers any updates around the forest and human activity. Bureaucratic stuff that Alexander and Klaus can barely keep up with, a bunch of very human words being thrown around that you're not sure what they mean. But people seem pleased with what they're reporting, so it must be good. No one's angry. Hugin is now standing beside Thorsten, and he grunts.
Anything up?
I think Julian's probably going to challenge Killian, and we are saying this is stupid.
I mean, is it? Or would it be stupid? Is that not the thing to do tonight?
I mean, yes. But, I'm less faithful than Wolfram.
How often have they fought this far?
Well, actual fighting, just once. Lots of bickering and, snapping at each other, though. I mean, I agree that there is a point they should let out that tension tonight of all things, but I also feel it might do bad for Julian's morale if he does get his ass beaten. And they are both likely to go too far as well.
Well, does he have a good reason to challenge him, or is it just because he's kind of an asshole?
Well, see, petty grievances often can be reason enough, especially if it gets in the way of coordinating packs and missions.
Well, what do you think? Is them having an unresolved petty grievance worse than them beating the shit out of each other?
Well, I suppose that's gonna happen either way. I'm just not sure if tonight is the best night for that, but if they ought to have it, they'll have it. I just find it annoying that we are feeding this imbecile's ego. Winning or losing, that's only gonna make him more of a pain in the ass. I feel like the best punishment for this sort of person is to ignore them. Give them no attention, that's what drives them mad. But Julian's hot-headed for a ragabash.
You ain't gotta tell me
Well, I suppose we'll see what will come out of it.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the fighting in general. I don't get why they get us so...
Well, most people
Excited
do it at
about
a
it.
time like this, for fun.
I know, it just doesn't seem... You've explained it to me multiple times, it just doesn't seem fun or useful or good in any way. I feel like all of these people have so much fucking rage in them.
Well, it is part of our nature. We have been given it by Luna to use as a tool, but it is double-edged. But it's exhilarating. Sometimes, sparring, well, humans work out, as far as I know. It's similar to that, but also communal. Might seem counterintuitive, but most times it does help to calm people's nerves down and resolve conflicts.
Well, who are you gonna fight then?
Hopefully nobody, because I don't care for it. But it does happen sometimes. I usually help either Karina or Wolfren spar. Sparring Wolfren is less hurtful. We rarely spare with people outside of my pack, but we help each other out in that way. May have attempted to spare with the warder ones. I would advise against that. His job is to be strong.
All of our job is to be strong.
Yes, well, but he is security. He protects the whole sept, so he's punching more often than I am. That's for sure. Colin and I was decent enough as bonding time. I feel like we got a better sense of respect for each other. Can tell a lot about a guru by how they fight and they approach a fight.
I guess you gotta have an understanding for fighting to do that.
I suppose. Julian often spares with his uncle. I don't think he's won a single time.
Well, from what you said, that's not that important.
Not usually, not for those sparring sessions, no. They're less formal, they aren't real challenges. Though some guru challenge themselves for sport as well. Those that are more so games than disputes are usually more about testing each other's skills.
And it already sounds more fun than fighting each other.
Well, sometimes it involves fighting. Some people choose other sorts of challenges. But even fighting sometimes can come from helping each other do new things. I'm sure you find your own form of fun, and there's gonna be a lot of food and booze tonight.
Well, if you... I don't know, Odyssey. If you give humans enough food and booze, they'll just start fighting each other anyway.
Oh yeah, but we do that without those already. In fact, I would say... I think both the Get and the Sky Singers think it's more fun when there's booze and fighting involved. They're usually fighting and laughing. Sometimes someone's frenzy, but it's... something else. Very shameful. But I suppose we'll be skipping the reverie, which is when people truly just start fighting everyone around them, and hunting things that could threaten the bond. Participated of a reverie once, Kempten is one hell of a high. I don't know. Just let the wolf out. But we don't do that in something like this. We all need to be able to get up in the morning feeling well enough, I suppose.
I'm kinda glad I don't have to experience that right now.
Well, you grow to it. It's gonna be fine. After a while, after all concerns are voiced, any challenges are discussed, and Garou are rewarded with renown. I will say that Julian, I want to save time, but I will say Julian and Killian do get into a fight, overseen by the Master of Challenge. Julian formally challenges, steps forwards and challenges Killian over their grievances, their contest of strength. And Killian, of course, takes it, and the Master of Challenge does decide they will be fighting. They both seem to want it. They both seem to have that sort of thing to prove. So the way I'm gonna do this... I'll say 3 rounds and out. I'll just quickly roll for each of them, and we'll see, and I'll narrate the results of it. And we'll see what happens between them. Should have changed their forms, I forgot to do that. They do fight in Krynos. Well... that is round 1. I'm gonna save it because there is a chance of something that would be very sad and hilarious to happen. So let's see. I'm gonna make all the rolls first and then describe it. Interesting. Oh, well, that changed too little too late, but, interesting.
I would just like it to be stated that Alex is watching very closely.
Yeah, same with Klaus.
They go at
He's
each
like,
other
oh, fuck.
with fucking rage and fury. And let me tell you, Killian whoops his fucking ass.
Oh no!
First round is completely Killian's. He really takes the win out of Julian. He picks up the pace a bit and just lashes at him, bites down on his shoulders, slashes against his face, but he's getting a beating. By the very end, Julian for a moment does manage to overpower Killian and make a huge slash across his chest. Killian punches him back, and now they're growling and practically screaming at each other. The Master of Challenges calls it out. And Julian is worse for wear than Killian. And the Master of Challenges decides in Killian's favor as the winner of the challenge. Julian falls to his knees. He is clearly quite exhausted. Killian just let out a howl of victory. His Spexmate joins. A few other Guru, very few, join in mainly for like social etiquette, but they don't seem too pleased about it either. And they both revert to their Hamid forms and probably actually staying Glabra for a while for that sweet regeneration, actually. And they both rejoin their packs, and once that's all said and done... Alright. The Grand Elder calls. Tomorrow, upon the report of the Wormful and his pack, we'll finalize the details and decide which packs will take what role in this. But the time is now for you all to voice your concerns. It is Trailblazers, I would request that you are the ones to stay behind. With the Warder. To make sure defenses of the Scepter are. And they all seem to look at each other, and the Warder seems to want to protest not going to the fight, but he concedes. Mist Seekers, Raven's Murder, Ravenous Strike. Your decisions are your own. Will you ride to battle? Will you split your packmates? Will you mix and mingle together, or are any of you going to stay behind and sit this fight out, protecting both the town and the Sept, in case enemies come after? Mind you, you all should keep in mind that there is a chance plans will change by the morning, and might be prepared to deal with the villages surrounding the town. So, if you have any preferences, voice them now. Rear guard or the front lines.
Oh God!
Is any of you gonna voice an opinion on this?
Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
I will join the hunt.
She nods sagely. Julian's and Killian's pack both say that, but Julian concedes that if push really comes to shove and there needs to be any sort of evacuation of villages or anything like that, they would be willing to try and help with that. Though they seem very, especially Julian, since his uncle is leading the attack, seems very intent on fighting.
It would be wrong of us to reveal this enemy and not see it through to the end.
Yeah.
Now that's an attitude that I like. Very well then. So shall it be? I will stay behind. With the Master of Challenge, Rhymaster, Counselor Lothar, and Lawkeeper Rune. Misha and War Master Ironjaw, you are to join in the hunt with the rest of the Sept. Do your worst. And they both very confidently nod. Misha has more like devious smirk to his reaction. Ironjaw is... that creature is only rage. The only thing that it knows is rage. So it growls like a hungry beast. Now,
Give me big dreadnought energy.
we enjoy ourselves and celebrate. We sing our songs of glory, our stories of renown. And our reverie tonight will be in the pleasure, in the community. We feast and drink in honor of Gaia. We honor the spirits that join tonight, and we howl our hearts out to Luna. Tomorrow we fight, but tonight we celebrate the victory that is to come, for we will prevail. Now go and enjoy yourselves. And people scream and howl and start spreading out to the tables that have been posed outside, full of food and booze. There are Garou playing instruments, mainly drums and instruments of string instruments, acoustic. Instead of singing, there's a lot of howling, and the night breaks into a more festive pace. People are laughing, some people are fighting. Lots of eating and drinking, and you are free to enjoy your night however you desire.
Hell yeah. Speaking of however we desire, is Helena here? Did she show up?
I don't think she would miss a Garou Moot. Yeah, she's definitely here. She would want
What's
to
she up
see
to?
this. She's standing away. She's not really at the heart of the celebrations. She's kind of standing off to the side, keeping distant. She may have picked some food item or two and maybe a mug of beer. She's mainly watching silently from afar. She's not really engaging, just observing.
Okay.
But she is there.
Right on. I'm just curious about what she's up to.
Yeah, just taking in the sights.
Hell yeah.
Moritz is definitely here too. Already drinking
Hell yeah.
himself to hell and back. Shoving ham down his throat. Wish that was me. That would fix me.
Wait, aren't they not supposed to eat ham?
Oh, true. Well, they are not supposed to kill boars. No, this
Not
is fine.
domesticated pigs.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they didn't kill those pigs. They didn't kill those
Maybe
boars.
think
goddamn ham.
They brought ham back from the store?
Probably. Or they could have bought the meat and steamed them themselves, but they didn't hunt those for sure. All the other meat in there, it's definitely been hunted fresh. The venison especially.
They just also happen to enjoy deli ham.
I mean, it's cultural. Of the
That's
region.
true. You know what? You know what? That is true. It just tickles me in a certain
And
way
if you
that there's
think
all
about
this
it,
like
if they're
wild
taking
game.
already slain meat, they are honoring the remains of those fallen boars instead of wasting their meat.
That is true. That is not incorrect.
Do any of you talk anything among yourselves or approach no one?
Klaus is going to go to a table, and go to the nearest. There are tables.
Yes.
Is there anyone eating on the ground?
Some wolves might have taken pieces of meat and eating on the ground.
Yeah, basically doing that. Like crunching bones, feasting, gorging.
Yeah, no, the lupus are added for sure. Maybe even some of the Grindspore.
Actually, where's the Trailblazer Krynos guy?
He's off to the side. Probably standing and talking to the blacksmith. And eating. Just holding a massive piece of meat and gorging it down, biting it down. Some of the meat is uncooked, by the way. There are some raw cuts of meat for the lupus, particularly. Though you do see even a few hobbits partake in it. Acquired taste.
Nice. Then in over the pack link, Klaus is going to say, sort of while he's going, is going to say, look out for Killian, who wishes to take up his challenge when he does.
Seems to be sparring one of his spec mates, probably the Shadow Lord, you assume. He is enjoying himself alright.
I would rather it be Peppy, but I don't see him here, so if it has to be, I'll take that on.
Are you strong enough?
I should think so. I'm at the very least hardy enough.
I can also take this on if needed. I itch to teach that fool a lesson.
I won't get in your way.
Well, will Klaus there to directly challenge? Or are you just waiting?
I'm gonna wait for him.
Well, so far it seems there's other things keeping him distracted, though he does acknowledge your back at some point.
Cool.
He does seem to have the interest to see how far the strength goes. Julian's pack is off to a side, mostly them just giving Julian a pep talk and all. Corinna is sparring with Maria from the Trailblazers. They are both Black Furies. They are fighting. Well, fighting, challenging each other.
They were roommate.
Yeah. Well, they are Black Furies, you know?
Mm-hmm. You do there.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. They were roommates.
At some point, Moritz does approach your pack as a whole. You're well there, kiddos. How are you enjoying your first moot?
I think that Alex is sitting with his back up against something and either just like a large leg of some beast or just a large quantity of some kind of food and is just like slowly picking at it with it between just on his stomach. You know the way bears do.
God bless.
Yeah.
It's probably some fish. Like I said, they hunt their food.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You're
so
they've
right.
probably fished.
Just like a full salmon. Or whatever regional river fish there is in Germany that I'm not aware of.
Yeah, I don't know fish. That all these fuckers. I don't eat fish. I don't eat seafood.
I love fish. Fish are so
Yeah.
good.
I can't eat fish.
Oh my god, oceanic salmon?
Ugh. Anyway, well, gorging yourselves, alright. That's good. That's good. Take it while it's hot. It is free, so you know, most out of it.
Winter's supposed to be cold this season, so I'm gonna try and get ahead of the curve a little bit.
Thinking of hibernating. How's that work?
It hasn't ever been exactly, I think, the way that Helena talked about hibernation for me. I didn't really get the choice.
Oh yeah,
But-
that's right. Sorry about that.
No, it's not your fault. I just would rather be insulated if I am called upon. And cold is doable for me, but it's not
Well,
my favorite way to
he
be.
points to the cabins in the sept. Well, those beauties there are made to keep the heat in. There's probably some ritual as well that the Theer just put around it. I don't know. I'm imagining. I'm completely taking that out of my arse. But I wouldn't doubt it. They use some spirit magic to make you comfier. That would be nice. Of course, the inn is
The
always
right
warm
master is
during...
very smart that way.
Oh, she is. She's a beast with her knowledge. Very, very tough nut to crack, but once you do, it's... She has a lot of insight to offer. I had the privilege of chatting up once or twice.
Really? Do you know each other well?
Nope.
Oh.
Like I
Okay.
said, once or twice, had the pleasantry.
I just remember, I think Julian said once or twice before it about somebody that he knew very, very well. And so I assume that that was an expression for somebody that you know very well.
Well, humans get tricky with those same things meaning different things. That happens.
Ah.
Depends on
Yeah,
how
human
you say
language
it.
is very strange.
Well, we are very strange, I suppose.
That's true. You are very strange. You do a lot of weird things.
You betcha I am, kid.
Just slandering the entire human species.
I mean, he's even slandering himself. This man does not
Yeah.
care. Well, I hope you're ready. You are all ready for what's to come. Alrighty. No tourist in this, but still. Don't think it hurts. Give some advice out. You all should be ready for anything, especially you, healer boy. Talents are gonna be very important the coming
Oh, I'm
days.
sure.
It's gonna be a
I mean,
lot of
even
people
I've-
to patch up.
I've even seen just tonight of people that don't really want to kill each other getting pretty hurt, so
Oh yeah. One
when
thing
the
you can
when
you
the time
can't
comes that
say
we
about the
actually want to kill
Fenris.
someone.
One thing you can say about Fenris, they know how to throw a fucking party. It's usually more aggressive than this, but I guess we're holding back. Well, it's always next time. Gotta see one of their reveries. Oh boy, that gets messy. It's fun.
I think he just like acknowledges that and then just goes back to gnawing on his fish.
Yes.
Yes.
Going to protect this creature. Wolfren and Hugin and Julian eventually join you guys. So, how you guys during your first night out? People dancing to the music, people sparring left and right. Food's pretty nice too. There's a lot of kinfolk tonight too. Guess people's families came to visit and join the festivities. Make it more homey for everyone.
I can tell that the people here worked very hard to make the space into what it is. And they've done a very good job.
Yeah, it's...
They even brought me fish.
Well, we usually have fish at the ready.
Klaus sort of looks up from its hock of meat and says, "Yes, many kinfolk. I was not aware that there were so many."
Well, it's easier to make kinfolk than it is to make, well, us, I guess, so... There's plenty of them.
Well, if I'm going to live for 100 wolf lifetimes, then I suppose I should be planning ahead.
You mean, you want to get human kinfolk for yourself?
Well, not humans. Hopefully,
Oh, you mean... Oh, right. Yeah. Should talk about that with Karina. She would love that. Hey, I think Karina has been a midwife before. Oh, do you know what that is?
No.
Once, Karina told us this story, and an old wolf friend just shakes his head. Oh, such a messy one. She, helped this human mother. Well, she was kinfolk, but she was human. She once helped her have her baby. There were some complications in her pregnancy. She, at the sept she was born around, she helped that woman deliver her baby. Humans only have one. Usually, sometimes there is more, but that doesn't tend to happen. But,
So few.
it's... Yeah. It really is. Yeah, wolves are just that impressive, really. No, humans usually only carry one, and that is a huge toll on them, and it was a difficult pregnancy, and she did a great job helping that mother deliver her child. I'll spare the crazier details, so let her talk about that. But the bottom line is, I would say she has the same appreciation for motherhood that you have. That's what I'm trying to say. So you could make all of that. She could help you out with figuring how to keep them around the sept in a comfortable way.
I'll keep that in mind. I plan on having lots of babies.
They'll nod. Julian chuckles. Oh, Francis, that is very lovely of you, Klaus. I think that's an amazing idea. We should be making more efforts to bring more wolf kinfolk back. Honestly, I haven't thought much about that sort of thing since I've gone for my first change. There are more wolves around. Maybe I should be thinking about this. He's deep in thought for a second.
Like, well, in the next spring, my pups will be dispersing.
Oh, you don't mean... Oh, I mean, that, I couldn't.
Well, I don't... What's the problem? And just sort of like...
I mean, they're...
All of this is said extremely matter of fact. Just like, yes, I'm going to have hundreds of babies. Like,
well,
that's just how it's going to be.
I suppose that's up to you, but, I mean, he's understanding that you're saying, like, well, my pups will be grown up, so, you know...
Well, yeah, exactly.
And he's like, well, technically they're your kinfolk and they're Red Talon kinfolk. Sometimes different tribes get a little bit mad about that sort of thing. It's common The tribes get protective over their kinfolk, so most Red Talons wouldn't really allow a child of Gaia.
Yes, well, I would not want that other Red Talon to breed with them, personally. But
Julian, Hugin, and Wolfred just go wide-eyed. They look among each other and look at you like, really? Huh. Well, I mean, Julian says, I get that, but it's shocking to hear that. The fact that you would...
I have to think about their future, right?
Oh, I agree.
I don't-
100%. It's just, socially speaking, it's, to me, incredible that you would choose Wolfren, a child of Gaia, over someone of your own tribe, and I respect that. You know what you're about. You're a great parent. No doubt. That Red Talon might get pissed off about that. But I don't think he's gonna be able to do much about it. You're very fierce. Like you're doing it.
Thank you.
It's just... Usually tribes are more,
Well, obviously, Wolfren would have to make some changes about himself.
What?
But
In what sense?
the jumper, it would not work in a den.
I wouldn't wear... I'm not wearing it now. I wouldn't wear it to the forest. I wear it for the town.
And sort of now just sort of like sizing Wolfren up, it's like, thinking about it. Do I really want this? Do I really want the jumpered wolf to be my son-in-law? What's going on there?
He feels very uncomfortable right now. He feels like he is being analyzed and judged, and he is. And he doesn't know how to go about that. Well, regardless, Julian takes over. I can all think about our futures. I still have a lot of mixed feelings about having children. Family trauma. Don't think Guru have therapists, so that's gonna be a tough nut to crack. Shit, does Hector want kids? I don't even... Oh god, oh fuck. Hugin, do you think Hector will... And Hugin just raises his hand like, nope. I'm not... I am not engaging with this. Congratulations, Klaus. You have put 2 werewolves into an existential crisis.
Well, you know what? From Klaus's perspective, everyone should want kids. So I just doesn't really understand what's going on, to be honest.
Yeah. I want to say I do have that planned out for Julian's future, but I'm not gonna give any spoilers. There is an answer to that.
Hell yeah.
But that is for the future. Are there any last considerations to be had with tonight's session, as we are drawing close to our time and we need to finish this? So any last comments or things to do before we wrap this up?
I would just say that if there is dancing happening and Alex isn't being pulled in any particular direction, that he would go out and join them in dancing along. But that's more of a flavor thing than it is a story concern.
I just need to know, is he dancing in bear form?
Yeah.
I have such a beautiful picture of that in my head. Thank you. I am happier.
I'm glad to have spread joy.
This mental image makes me well.
Alexander has the power to heal anything.
God fucking bliss.
Mm-hmm.
Thorsten,
you want me to make a roll for that?
No, absolutely not.
Alright.
My cat just failed to jump into the desk, and I don't know how. What the fuck just happened? Are you that
Sometimes
much of
cats
a
are just bad.
non-feline? climb up.
Sometimes cats are just bad at being cats.
My cats are constantly bad at being cats. She's now looking at me, waiting for me to do something about it, and like, sweetie, I can't, just jump. I can't save you.
Well,
nope.
Are you gonna fix this?
She is a toddler. Anyway, Torsten, Klaus, anything else?
Nothing that comes to mind right now. No.
So to be clear, this is the revels basically.
Yeah, technically we are not doing Weavery officially, because people can be getting hurt, but they're reveling in a different way, so you're just free for the rest of until dawn, basically. We're just gonna drink, dance, and eat. There's still sparring, it's not the same level.
Do you reckon there's time to spar Killian very quickly?
Yes, we can bring that down to a few rows and then describe what happens narratively. So we're gonna do the quick and dirty for combat stuff. Same thing I did for Julian.
Mm-hmm.
You challenge Killian right as he's done with his own sparring. He seems eager to fight.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna change it to Krynos.
Oh, so you are fighting in Krynos, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, first round, I want you to roll... It's just going to be contested rolls for Brawl and Dexterity. We're not rolling damage or anything. It's just going to be that. So, round 1, make a roll.
Okay.
Oh.
Roll. Fuck. 0 successes.
Well, that was him. You had 2.
Oh shit, 2.
Oh,
Two successes.
shit, let's
You
go!
start the fight with the lead. You are pummeling this guy. How do you start this fight? How do you go about it?
Yeah. I think that there likely would have been a little bit of verbal sparring, possibly. Right at the start of the challenge, the spar. But first things first, Klaus is going to, rather than like go in for a big attack, is going to like wait for Killian to make the first move, step to the side, and try and like attack his like the arm that he leads with.
I see. Let's go to the next round.
Yeah. Can I spend rage?
No, let's keep this simple.
Okay, cool.
Okay, you are still at it, but he does catch on to your strategy and he starts reversing it on you and almost flanking you with his footwork. Let's see how this ends. Who comes out on top? Last Brawl and Dexterity roll. Who wins?
Come on, fiercest mother. Come on.
Fuck!
Oh shit! You know what? You two just start going at each other and it starts to drag and there is a crowd kind of drawing on. And as you are both wearing each other exhausted, at some point the Master of Challenges steps in, manages to stop you both down and calm you down and call it quits. He announces, well, since we should be holding back tonight, I will say, this is a draw on this match. You two are even-footed. Perhaps after this whole Black Spiral deal is done, maybe you should consider a formal challenge to finish this in the future. But for tonight, that's what we got. Killian is looking at you with a smirk and he's like, oh, it's on.
Yeah.
There will be an end to this. There will be more.
Klaus spits blood and says, I look forward to it.
Oh, we'll see, puppy. We'll see who's just the strongest. And I think this is an incredible place to end our session with a very freshly established rivalry between Killian and Klaus.
Let's go.
No one gets to call me puppy except Torsten and Alex.
No.
Aww.
No.
I get to call you puppy.
Do they know they can call you puppy?
No. And Klaus will never say it.
Well,
Damn.
this is where we wrap up for tonight, folks. I want to thank my lovely players for tonight, for the wonderful session and times we had together. And I want to thank you all watching us, be it live on Twitch or the VOD on YouTube. Thank you for your time and attention. I hope to see you around next week. I hope the rest of this week treats you all well. Take care of yourselves. Have a good night, and bye-bye.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye-bye.